as soon as I bring this, look who comes by. That kitty can't help herself. Kitty? Kitty. She wants me to brush her. She's filled with fur. This cat is always filled with freaking fur. There's no getting around it, you know? There's no getting around it. She's always... See? She's alternating the sides of the chair she sits on. It's very cute. Blackberry does this a lot. She's a very cute kitten. All right. How's everybody doing? I was going to do this live stream at 10 o'clock. It is now 11:30. A little bit late. You should be used to that if you're used to watching random live streams in this channel. I've been trying to do a little bit more of them than usual. I used to kind of, do live streams, keep in touch with people who are here. I have not done that as much. Are you going to react to MKBHD review drama? I don't know what that is, and I usually don't care. Yeah, when you say that, you're not being specific, and with you not being specific, I don't know what it means. And if I don't know what it means, I can't react to it. But what I can do is I can pet a cat. Not only am I petting her, so this has a bunch of little spikes on it, but it's like happy spikes, because Blackberry really likes getting dug in with this. Sometimes if I'm not doing it hard, using the spikes hard enough, she'll like push into it as hard as she can, and almost like push my hand back. How is Austin so far? I like it. Austin's a nice place. If you want the city downtown experience, with the bars and all that, you have that. If you want an area that has like, the whole suburban home thing, you have that. If you want to be left the fuck alone in the middle of nowhere by hills and shit, you have that. I kind of like the whole left the F alone section. That's my speed after, living in Brooklyn for 17 years and having a business in the East Village and Midtown Manhattan for like 12 years. We're looking at moving again. Oh, cool, Ann. I got to catch up with you later because I have some interesting follow-ups in the last conversation we had on dealings in life. I made a very, I realized that I had made some fairly good decisions last August, and then I undid them because I doubted myself, but now I know how to avoid doing that shit in the future. Ow. MKBHD gave constructive feedback in a review for a product that's terrible so far but will improve. I don't see how that's bad. MKBHD got flamed for offering a fair and balanced review of an AI pen that does things of little to no value. It sounds like nothing. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't know how any of you are wasting brain space on that. Yeah, I'm not going to waste brain space on that. I had a feeling that it was going to be stupid when people didn't say what it was, the company was, what it was about, and I have been validated. I honestly, I've watched like half of one of his reviews and I just didn't get much out of it. Like what I'm looking for in a product review, and don't get me wrong, his product reviews are very good for the people that want those product reviews. It's just I don't buy my products based on the criteria, I guess, that usually goes into those reviews. So I'm not the target customer there. I guess that's really all I have to say on that. I attempted to reach out to you on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook, so if you are reaching out to me on Facebook, you are talking to somebody else. I don't have it. Are you going to support the Stop Killing Games movement? I already did a video on that, and I gave that guy a bunch of advice actually in the chat. In the Letters to Louis chat. Everybody wants me to do a video on it. I don't think they actually do, because what I have to say is not going to be what everybody wants me to say. And also at the end of the day, I kind of already did a video on it. I said my piece. I said my piece. I hope he wins. I think do you have any thoughts on the situation in the crew? Okay, this usually gets asked like 30 times every live stream, so I'm just going to do what I do every live stream, and I'm going to pin my video that I already did on this. And we're just going to pin that and go from there. If you want to know what I think of Mr. Ross Scott's campaign, look in the Letters to Louis Discord channel where we had we talked back and forth for about 15 minutes. To be, admittedly, I was a little short. I was behind on some homework and some other shit I had to do and some reading I had to do, so I was kind of like, typing shorthand. But everything I said there is exactly what I look for. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pin this, and also, I don't even have my own Discord link because I don't use that shit anymore. So, okay. Video on Stop Killing Games. Thoughts on campaign can be found in Letters to Louis Discord channel that I no longer use because fuck Discord forced arbitration. Okay, there we go. So if anybody asks, I now have a pinned comment, baby. Yes, I can, without guilt, ignore the 90,000 times I'm going to get asked that this freaking stream. Like, I had a very detailed conversation with him. You know, he's got some. I think he has some decisions that he has to make. You know, I heard a lot of the mentality that I had when I started doing this stuff like 12 years ago, and I'm very excited and hopeful to see that he wins and takes on the mentality of let's talk to people who have done this kind of stuff already. Let's start making a plan. Let's figure out what we want to do. Let's collect money. Let's get people campaigning. Let's win. But yeah, I think that that's it. I don't know. Like when I started doing this shit, I really just kind of reached out to people who had done it in the past and won, and just kind of asked like, what do I do? And then like I figured out what they told me to do is not the thing I needed to, so I found something else. And you know, you just kind of figure it out as you go. Really, I don't know how else to put it. You know, I gave him some advice, and I look forward to seeing him kick ass. But yes, in terms of doing a video again and again and again, that's not what I do here. I did my video. I'm not releasing another one just because people keep asking me to. It's actually the fact that people keep asking me to that keeps me from doing it. You know, like when he does, now don't get me wrong, he does a fundraiser, he says I'm hiring people to do this, that, and the other, I'm organizing all this shit. Like that's gonna be it. That's gonna be different. And I look forward to him doing that. Okay. We have a kitty, and the kitty wants brushes. Mattress is all right, but the thing is, what's kept me from sleeping is completely separate from that. It's just mostly stupid life decisions have kept me from sleeping, honestly. That, anxiety over other shit. But I'm changing a lot of that now. I have a kitty. When do you have to admit to yourself that your dreams are unrealistic? For example, if I'm 5'4", and my dream is to play in the NBA. That's not real. Okay. You're giving that as an example, but you're not giving reality. Like, that's a very general question. I think, I really, you know, I like questions with specific situations. I really don't like questions that are hypotheticals because they're just impossible to answer. Let's see. I've been listening to this. There's actually this box DVD audio that I found. I forget if it's DVD audio or Super Audio CD, but it was from the 50s. And it's very interesting because when you read the liner notes that were with it, the liner notes are saying, yes, this is recorded using this crazy new technology called stereo. That's how old that shit was. And it's actually exceptional recording. Because the modern ones are like a little bit faster. I don't know if that's just because, you know, the tape was, I guess, I don't know, something happened over the years or what. But is there a Letters to Lewis in the Matrix over? Yes, there is. But the one that you need to read is the Discord one if you want to read the conversation that's in the pinned comment. BlackBerry? No, you're going to stay there. No, we're not doing this shit. You're not jumping on my keyboard. No, BlackBerry. BlackBerry, God damn it. I don't know how to use a trackball left-handed. I can't do that. I can't use a trackball wrong-handed. I can only use it right-handed. Just want to know how much I appreciate your repair videos. Very soothing. You're able to fix somebody's computer. Thank you. I've got about 1,000 of them, and they're all on a playlist if you ever want to watch it. BlackBerry, get the fuck over here on this side. This is a right-handed trackball. If this was a mouse, that would be different. Jesus, this fucking cat, man. So spoiled. I literally get a professional cat petting tool, and that is not enough. YouTube going ham on AdBlock Plus. Listen, it still seems to work. I don't understand why anybody uses AdBlock Plus instead of uBlock. I hate to be that person. I really do. Ubuntu, why don't you use Debian? Debian, why not Slackware? Slackware, why not Gentoo? Gentoo, why not BSD? I can't stand those people. You just want to punch them straight in the mouth. But I'm not trying to be one of those people. I hate them. I hate them to my core. But I would consider uBlock Origin. It just works more often. It's not even about objectively speaking, uBlock Origin works more often on more different ads and everything else than AdBlock Plus. Use uBlock. You know, like 10 years ago it was maybe different, but you want uBlock Origin now. Do you offer the opportunity for someone to come in and take micro soldering workshops anymore? It's not really a workshop. It's more of a come in, use the equipment. If you have questions, ask. It's not really it's not like a lesson where you're like I'm sitting there for 5 hours anymore. I don't charge do any sort of thing like that. What we do is if you want to use the microscope, soldering equipment, power supplies, multimeter, like micro soldering pencil, all that kind of stuff. You're welcome to use the equipment that's there for your stuff. So if you want to do something that's going to require like a $500 or $600 microscope, but you don't want to spend $500 or $600 for one project, or you kind of want to understand how those work, that's a really good opportunity to not spend that amount of money, or not spend $200 to $500. Why do you not use Brave as your primary? You're doing the fucking distro shit, man. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. I like Firefox. Oh God, why not PFC? You know what? Every single one of you, you're all at it. No, fuck that. Fuck you, distro wars people. Get the fuck out of here. No, no. See exactly what Oreo said right there. What Oreo said. What happened to Apple supporting right to repair bill? I don't even fucking. I'm not. I just can't. Like people have asked me, what do I think of the new thing where Apple's letting you use used parts? So we're back to where we were like 2 years ago. Yay! I'm so happy. Now, if I want to fix something, all I have to do is go on eBay and spend $800 for the carcass of an A2442 that doesn't fucking work and pray that the screen works. Pray the screen works. Take that scratched, used-ass piece of shit, put it in a customer's device for $400, and pray, again, that I can sell that device without the screen that's broken, that I spent $800 for $500, so that after an hour of work replacing it, listing that piece of shit, selling it, and shipping it, that maybe I can walk away with $75. No. Do I give a fuck? No. Now you're able to take the used parts from this phone and put it in that one. So I can buy a used device for $800 to fix mine, and then resell the device that I just bought and hope that it's profitable. You know, you used to be able to like buy parts, right? Like the way this used to work is you could just buy parts from the manufacturer. Like instead of do that ridiculous bullshit, I could go to an LG broker or go to an AU Optronics broker. That's an LG competitor for screens. Yo, Oreo, no, you did enough of that shit earlier today, and I placated it. If you want to come up here, you can jump. I'm not responding to crying. You can cry as much as you want. I'm not doing that. You need to learn how to be a tiger. You need to learn how to be a panther, a wild kitty. If I let you outside, I need to know that if that fox comes in the backyard, you're going to tackle him and eat him. You sound like you would be eaten by the damn fox. Anyway, the way it used to work, you would go to one of LG or AU Optronics' brokers, and you would say, I want to buy 1,000 of this part. And they would say it's $55 a piece to buy 1,000 of this. However, we expect to wire transfer ahead of time for the whole amount, no warranty. And then you would send the wire transfer, and for a month and a half, you would be shitting bricks wondering if they were going to send it to you, or you'd have to, are you sending me my parts, or am I sending Oreo after you as an assassin? You got to be able to jump up here, man. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not carrying you anymore. Okay, good, Oreo. Now you stay on this side. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. Oreo, get back here. God damn it. I was trying to keep him from going over here. I just wanted to push him off onto here, and he fell. I feel bad. He's so freaking weak. Come here, Oreo. Come here, Oreo. God damn it. Ah, Jesus Christ. All I wanted to do was get him to stay on here. Anyway, back to my point. Like you used to be able to just go to LG or AU Optronics' broker and say, I want to buy 1,000 of this. I will wire you the money ahead of time. I am okay with getting no warranty. And then you would shit bricks for 2 or 3 months waiting for that boat to show up at the port and then them actually deliver you stuff and realize that you didn't get shipped a ton of bricks or nothing at all because you wired them, like $80,000. That's the way this used to work. And that actually worked. I could buy parts, so I'm happy. The broker has no customer service to do whatsoever. Neither does LG or AO Optronics, so they're happy. Apple has no customer service nor any accountability or responsibility, so they're happy. I understand why Apple does not want to sell me parts. Selling parts is an annoying fucking business. People break stuff when they're installing it. They expect customer service. This didn't arrive on time. Why'd you require a signature? Now I have to go to UPS. I work during the day. Why didn't you require a signature? My neighbor stole the package. It's annoying to sell parts. And then people are going to buy the wrong shit and install it and break it and file chargebacks and send them back. I understand why companies don't want to sell shit. That makes sense. What drives me nuts is the fact that you can't even buy things like the olden style anymore. Again, I will wire you the entire amount of money right here, right now. You get all the money. There's no customer service. You will never hear from me again. There are no chargebacks. I am taking all the risk in this transaction. Send me what you got. I'll deal with I used to think that system sucked. Can I be honest with you? Back in 2011 to 2013, I remember thinking, this system would have me shitting bricks. Wanted to let you know I've never made one of your streams. I normally listen to them when I go to work. Wanted to let you know 5 years ago I built a lab and do circuit board and battery pack repairs on power tools. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing. I hope that you're able to make a bunch of shit work again and make people happy and get them into repair. That's what makes this thing fun. But yeah, I miss being able, like, I remember back in 2011 and 2009, I couldn't afford to do this. I would be buying from somebody who was buying from the person that was doing that. And then around 2011, 2012, 2013, I finally started had the ability to do that at a lower level. And then in 2014 or 15, that was when I was buying like 600 to 1,000 at a time. And at that point, it's like, I remember thinking, I hate this system. Because again, like I have an anxious attachment style. For anybody who's ever read any book on this, I have an anxious attachment style. That means when I wire $70,000 to some random dude in Korea or Taipei, I will be shitting bricks for the next 8 weeks, wondering if I'm actually going to get what I pay for. I used to think this is a horrible system. And again, if anything was broken with any of those parts, anything wrong whatsoever, like, it was the South Park cable guy customer service. They don't care. But, what made it worth it for us, we would have to figure out the price point at which to sell the repair service to take into account whatever the failure rate was with what we bought. And a lot of times the failure rate was pretty damn low, like virtually nothing, which is usually stuff. The only stuff that really failed was stuff that broke in shipping, and even that was very rare because when you're buying this stuff in the original LG packaging, not repackaged crap where some dude in China is fucking, duct taping each screen to the back of a cheap piece of cardboard after ripping it out of the rejects box. I mean the actual good shit. LG screens, A grade on the side of the box, no number 5, and definitely no number 9. Fuck LG screens that have a number 9 on the side of the box. If you're buying that, you got the shit pile. I used to think that this system sucked. I wish we had that system again. I would pray. I would find Jesus if I was able to have the system that we had even 8 years ago. I don't care about this. I genuinely don't. Like, we have the ability, the ability to buy any part went away. The ability to buy any part other than factory rejects went away. Then the ability to buy any part at all went away. Then the ability to use used parts went away. And now, for a small segment of devices, you can use used parts. But wait, Louis, if you go to Apple's program and you sign up for the IRP program and sign away your rights to be able to have schematics and chips and anything in your shop that you didn't get from them, and you sign up to be inspected anytime they want, and you sign up to give them your customer data, then you can buy a screen assembly for $500. Why don't you become certified or use the IRP program? Oh, suck my dick. I swear to God, I can't do videos on that anymore. I just can't. It's like I can't make the 1,000th fucking video on why this is all a scam. I don't want to. I don't want to make the video that you want me to make. I know what you want me to do. You want me to read the news and go through the program and lose my mind. And I'm not even reading it and I'm already losing my mind. So what do you want? Like, no, I'm just, fuck that shit. Like, just, no, I'm not doing it. No. And I get it, it's mostly for iPhones. And again, that's the thing. When I say that, you can use a used part from here to here on, again, a small segment of fucking devices. It's just, I just don't care. I just don't care. Like, by the time we actually even get back to where we were in 2015, I will not have hair anymore. So I don't care. I don't care about the Apple news. Not at all. Not even the tiniest bit. Not even the tiniest bit. No. Good. Not doing it. Anyway, that's that. My wife, a teacher, said she was tempted to start showing your videos to kids in the class to get them educated ahead of becoming adult consumer. Ooh, I don't know about that. Okay, when I make these videos, I do not make them with the idea that children will be viewing them. I'm just going to throw that out there. What do you think of a Lewis counterpart but for industrial automation? Similar topics but industrial grade. PLC, SCADA, edge gateways. I don't know. I would be, if somebody wants to try and fix all that stuff, great. Yeah, I mean, what would I think of it? I don't know how to work on any of that stuff because I never have and I don't have much knowledge. BlackBerry, you stay on the armrest. BlackBerry. Outside Judd. Don't use Chrome, Firefox, kids, all you need is Firefox. See, MobileFix, this is why we have him in the chat. This is why we have good people like MobileFix in the chat. Yes, Firefox. I mean, it's slow in a lot of situations. It's much slower than using Brave, but like it's you know it sends the right message. I'll live with it. Whatever happened to the IRP application you sent to Apple? They wanted me to sign an NDA. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not signing an NDA. The NDA said that I'm not allowed to tell you what's in that program. So if I sign that and I get in, let's say I get accepted to everything. I sign this NDA, and like, I can't even tell you if I'm signing away every single right to be able to. Because again, remember when I first read the IRP program stuff back in 2019? It was either 2018 or 2019. A part of that was saying my shop can be inspected. If I have parts there that they don't like that I have there, like I can get in trouble with them. Do you think they're going to like that I have CD3217? Do you think they're going to like that I have schematics? Do you think they like I have board views? I don't think so. Something tells me they're not happy with that. Yeah. That's interesting. Thank you for the work you did on One Wheel, Future Motion. Thank you, Erica Gray. I try to put the word out there as much as I can, and I really hope somebody manages to get around their patents. I really hope that somebody with serious money decides that they're just going to send them a message and get around their patents. That nothing would make me happier, because from what I understand, at least from what I've read, like that stuff is not unique in design. Somebody else in 2007 has like put that stuff on YouTube and showed that it was working. I build people power banks because a great deal of them are Chinese polymer packs that get hydrogen expansion at 100 cycles. My stuff is cheap and has steel 18650s from Japan. Buy local if you could find a guy with a niche skill set. What kind of batteries use? I know that my batteries in my e-bikes, like they're old as shit. It's the Samsung 35Es from, I know like they were supposed to be the high capacity but not high energy output packs, which is, I was okay with that because I was putting 3 or 4 batteries in parallel, but I used to have 30 Qs, and oh my God, you had to have the perfect BMS to balance those, but no more. Have you ever come across the FHD 48MP microscope electric digital? That sounds like, just reading the title, I can tell that that's some Amazon shit right there, and I put that through the artificial intelligence in my brain because I don't have real intelligence, and that AI tells me that is an Amazon product that probably is sold by the same people that make 15 amp fuses they label 2. You make a video on Visible, the phone service company. I don't know what that is. You have to tell me what that thing is and why you want a video on it. What's your stance on electrical monopoly, duopoly, service per city, which undergirds entire infrastructure of tech corporate gray? Okay, I don't understand that sentence. Tech corporate gray, what? I love your last video on the cutting room floor stuff you left in. Yeah, the cat tortures me. That's what makes Louis happy. I enjoy reading books about things. I enjoy reading books about situations or topics that I have just recently wound up fucking myself in. Ideally, what I like to do is I like to read books before I screw my... No, BlackBerry, this is a right-handed trackball. Get the fuck out of here. No. I've gone over this with you for 15 years now. BlackBerry, you gotta go, girl. You gotta go. You gotta go, girl. I've been telling you this since 2010. You gotta cut that shit out. Yeah. I swear to God, this greedy cat. It's not enough that I do that. Like, I could pet her all day long, follow her around the house, play with a laser, have fun with the little string shit, take her outside, like everything. Nothing is good enough. She has to sit on top of my trackball. It's not, no. Let's see, I enjoy reading books on topics where I've recently screwed myself. So I've recently had, let's say, a bad company experience. I like finding a book that addresses the exact thing that I did wrong, shows me what I was doing, and then tells me exactly how I could have done it differently so that I can beat myself up about it. I do that with business. I do that with, Yeah, do that with politics. Definitely do that with relationships. I enjoy book. Yeah, I like reading. I like sitting on the porch and enjoying the sunset. That's a lot. Recently, the sunset has been purple and pink. I've never seen a sunset that was purple and pink, but I just sat outside today with my camera. I was procrastinating doing homework for like 10 minutes just to look outside and stare at that. I really enjoy nature. I like feeding my fish. I like watching my fish, like looking at the fish, taking pictures of my fish. I enjoy that quite a bit. Kind of relaxing now, honestly. I used to love working. I used to enjoy working every single second of the day. Now, just a little bit of relaxing. Relaxing, reading, lots of reading now. I'll be honest, I'm catching up a lot on reading, even just general stuff. Like, I've been reading a lot of history recently, a lot of history, and I've been enjoying it. Like, I enjoyed putting a little bit into that recent video that I did on the recent video that I did on Roku and the forced arbitration crap. It's kind of fun. When I read Louis, who are you voting for? I've went over that in older videos, and I'm not falling into that trap again. No, 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 no. What I've enjoyed with the reading history thing is that, I use Panasonic batteries in my battery packs, but I can also use power tools, savage cells that have been capacity and resistance tested, as well as laptop cells. People find that I only have that set up to stay on screen for like 14 seconds. So if you leave a paragraph, I have to talk like the guy at the end of an aspirin commercial. People find this okay because of lower cost and a good second life for cells. I imagine that you're at least offering a replacement, which is more than what 99% of the manufacturers will do. Are you going to the local Zcoin? And also, thank you for the $1. I've got a cock ring and need a repair. It costs $10, but I'm willing to pay you $100 to make it USB-C upgradable. I'm a single man now. I don't service cock rings anymore. Otherwise, it did get good use, and I did make sure during the entire time frame that I used that thing, I never bought a replacement. Never subscribed to the cock ring. I did spend like 20 or 30 bucks on batteries and switches to find the right one for it, though. It would have been cheaper if I just fucking subscribed. Have you heard of Floor P? Floor P. I have not peed on my floor, no. I do not want a fork of Firefox. I do not care. No distro wars. No, none of that. Like, why do you use Ubuntu? You should use Debian. None of that, why do you use Debian? You should use Slackware. None of that, why do you use Slackware? You should use... No, I don't do that shit. I find something that works, I use it. Same thing with, like, when I go to a restaurant I like, when I find something I like, I eat that dish for like 3 to 6 years every single day. Are you serious, Barry? You seriously trying to kick my audio interface off my desktop? She has 2 cat trees right there, all the shit she could climb. She's literally trying to destroy my computer. No. Anyway, I cannot believe you did that on stream. That was BlackBerry. God damn it.
Good, I do have the right file. Good, I do have the right file.
Damn kitty. I can't. This freaking cat. This damn cat. Thank you, Batcat, whatever that means.
Good, I do have the right file.
What's your advice on dealing with loneliness? When I let you know, when I figure it out, I'll tell you. The moment I figure that out, I'll tell you. I mean, the advice that you don't want, that nobody fucking wants, is find some other shit to do with your life. Find some random thing to do. And while you're in the process of doing that random thing, it's going to set into a place, this little butterfly effect of things, and it will result in you finding people, whatever that is. When you are lonely and you feel bad because you are lonely, I can almost guarantee you will make the worst decisions of your life. Relationship-wise, you will make the worst decisions of your life. Professionally, you will make the worst decisions of your life. In every way, shape, and form, when you are lonely, you will make the worst decisions of your life. Was trying to get my money's worth, but yes, the cells can be changed and upgraded with springs, and this is called the, what is it, GAN? I'm designing Power Tool BMS packs with springs so you can add cells and not have to weld anything. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so the two things are and here's what makes that hard. Here's what makes that very difficult in terms of advice. The advice, just find some random shit to do. Like literally, I don't know, like take a class, go to a class at a gym, go to a class at a college, try something new. I don't know, like whatever the fuck it is that you do, join a running group or whatever. Like, it's weird because you're not doing the primary thing. Like the primary thing you want to do is meet people. But if you actually go to something where the primary point of it is to meet people, like you do speed dating, it's going to feel cringy as shit. If you go to like a... we just do this. Anyway, when you go to like some meetup event where literally the only point is to meet random people, it's going to feel really cringy and weird. See, like you want to meet people and you want to not be lonely. So the idea, if you want to meet people and not be lonely, is let me go to a meetup where the purpose is to meet people. But you're all just going to feel like you're going to feel like you're dealing with a bunch of salesmen. It's going to be weird. It's just, I don't know, it's going to be freaking weird. So you got to find some shit to do. Like just find random stuff to do. I would say you got to find something. And you have to have this trust that as you keep doing these random new things, it'll set in motion this little butterfly effect that will change your life. Like it's not even about it's not even about like meeting somebody at the event. It's like if I have to do this different thing at this different time, that means I'm going to go to a different grocery store. And every time I go to this grocery store, I go at the same time where my, the friend that I want to meet is not there. The people, but since I went to this different grocery store, that's when there was somebody arguing in the line, which is when I laughed at the person, they were arguing. I was joking with the person behind me about this miserable couple, and then we made friends. It's kind of like that shit. It's not even about meeting somebody at what you're doing. It's just about changing up. It's about changing up your day and your schedule. I think that's one of the things that helps you with loneliness. In terms of like, do you take a pottery class versus a cooking class? Like, no, it's not how any of this shit works, in my opinion. You have any advice for a college student who's struggling with a hard math course? Having a hard time in discrete math? No, because I'm not good at math either. So no, I have no advice on that. Please ask in the free chat before wasting money on things that I can't help you with. What I would try doing is get ChatGPT version 4. Ask it the question. Anytime you're stuck, what I would do is I would say, here is the question. Pretend you're a math teacher. Here's where I'm stuck. Don't give me the fucking answer. Give me a hint. It's actually not bad for that. Everybody shits on AI a lot, and honestly, fuck all those people. Like, again, when we're talking about AI that is being used to manipulate you or mine your data so that they can advertise to you, yeah, fuck that shit. But AI, like, I don't care. Like, I really don't. Like, I know there's going to be a bunch of AI haters in the chat. I don't give a fuck about any of you Luddites. Seriously. Like, you can Google it. I don't know. I delete these because when I keep them up, I wind up losing like 100 or 300 subscribers. So I delete them just to avoid the loss of subscribers. What happened with Clinton and Oreo? They are somewhere over there. They're somewhere else. They're sleeping. What I would do is I would say, here's the question. Here's how far I got. Give me a hint. Because here's the thing. Here's why I think this is so much better than search engines. On search engines, you will find people that ask similar questions. But you'll never, sometimes you're just not going to find somebody who asks the exact question. It's just not the same. So I would use find some decent AI, a large language model shit, and just ask it the question, give it the question, pretend you're a math teacher. Don't give me the fucking answer. Don't you dare, but give me a hint. Try the taco trucks by Austin FC Stadium. What's FC? I am acronym challenged. My favorite was Al Pastor, maybe catch a game. I'm not a big fan of sports. I appreciate the $5. Thank you very much. I've just never been much for watching sports. Like it's the same for everything. Like watching video gameplay, watching it. Like I don't know what it is. It's just it hasn't been something for me. But I will give it a shot. Upload the live streams to a separate channel. I want to start my own computer repair business. Okay. If you're going to college, the whole point of going to college is so you don't start a computer repair business. Like, you're not supposed to be taking $300 to $400 things and trying to patch them up for $50 in a no fix, no fee model to try and rub two sticks together to pay your rent. The whole point of going to college is to be the guy making the circuit boards or building advanced software, working on them. Do not go to college to do what we do. Doing what we do does not require college in any way, shape, or form. And again, what we do is, for the most part, you're not going to be employed by somebody. You're going to be employing yourself, so you don't even have to care about making it through an ATS system. Now you pretty much need college for a lot of different things because you have a lot of jobs, a lot of companies where you're not even going to be seen at all. Your resume is not making it to a desk, but because an ATS system will delete it if, God forbid, you didn't go to go 60K into debt. But yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, but yeah, that's my advice there. Loneliness Epidemic by Cold Fusion explains this in detail. TLRD. I don't know what TLRD means. Disconnect from the internet, make face-to-face connections. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, you got to do something. Advice for making an AI startup. Don't have any. What is your diet like? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a great diet.
Good, I do have the right file.
Thank you for the 1BGN. Also, most people like meeting others who have shit going on. If that makes sense, you got nothing going on, it's going to be hard to find someone that sticks around. True. True. Very true. Man. I deal with loneliness by being lonely. I want to try maybe go to a church. Why not? Try anything, really. Verizon, I'm angry with them and I don't use their service. Do you have kids? I do not. If so, how old? I do not. If not, have you given any thought to it? Yes, I would have to find somebody that wants to have kids that I believe would make a quality mother. The jury's still out on that one. What is your advice on having a strong work ethic? I think anything worth doing is worth doing well, and if you're not, if you're not doing what you do well, I genuinely, I believe that it affects you. I believe it changes your outlook on things, and I believe it just, I can't, any job that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try to do well. I don't have it in me to do a job shittily. Now, maybe I'm not going to, maybe I don't have the proper skill set to be able to do it as well as I want to, but I'm going to put effort in. I don't have the ability to say I'm going to do this half-assed if I'm agreeing to do it. And the reason I don't do that, even if I dislike the person I'm doing a particular job for, I've never used a slot machine in my life. So I've lost less than you did with that donation, which could have gone into free chat, by the way. I am reading free chat, just so you know. But thank you. What was I saying? I forgot that one. Yeah, I forgot what I was answering there for a moment. I was on the middle of something, but I forgot what I was doing. How's CPP what? I don't know. I forgot what I forgot what I was talking about mid-sentence there. Why do you think nearly all large companies are becoming so hostile towards their customers? Like for 100 years, it seemed they tried to cater to the consumer. One of the things I really don't understand. Thank you, Walker Young. That's very kind of you. Thank you. One of the things that I really don't understand why the forced arbitration now. Like, why is it within this 3 to 4 month period, every single company on earth is changing their terms of service to forced arbitration? Like, I'm not even saying I don't understand why the forced arbitration. I just don't understand why every company decided that, like, these 4 months are the 4 months that we should just do that to every consumer. Like, software companies, hardware companies, sock makers, television manufacturers, like literally refrigerator manufacturers, smartphones, socks. Socks really got me. Like, how the fuck are socks forced arbitration? Thank you, CEOMG. Thank you very much. I'm glad me not being productive is helping you being productive. Never did C++, poop, and I also haven't had time for that lately. I got a bunch of other stuff that's been going on. I could use some advice. I have a job offer that would would move me up the ladder, but I would sacrifice 5 years of specific skills I've gained. Any advice on how to make this decision? I don't know what the job is. I don't know what the old skill was. I don't know what the new one is. So I don't really know what to do there. That's where what Eli, the computer guy, would call, let's say, a strawberry or butter brickle. It's really like essentially without details, that is just flavors of ice cream. And I can't tell you what flavor of ice cream you are going to like. Oh, now I remember what I was talking about. With jobs, essentially anything worth doing, I think, is worth doing well. If you're going to sign up for it, do it well, or just don't do it at all. If I think that your own work ethic, your confidence, your ability to approach things goes downhill when you know that you're not doing something well. If I feel like I don't want to do something well, I just stop doing it. I don't like, and I've done this. There are times where I've had opportunities to make considerable amounts of money to do something that I knew I just wasn't going to be excited about, and yeah, like sometimes I probably should have taken the money. But the thing is, like, it fucks you up a little bit. At least in my opinion, I think it does. I can't afford to be screwed up in my business life because I don't have the ability to get a job. So I have to have my business like life on point. It has to be on point because if it's not, everything else falls to shit. So, I don't have it's kind of like with relationships. I think that's the best way to describe it. Like people can't have a really shit day at work and then come home and be a different person. It doesn't work. You're going to be a bad partner if work sucks. And conversely, if your wife is talking about leaving you and taking the kids and how she never should have married you and all this crazy shit, and then you're not going to go to work and write the best program that day. It's just not how it works. And I think the same thing winds up being true with work. And I don't think that you could have a job and be like, I'm going to put in a half-assed effort every single day for a long period of time, and then magically be the type of person that just produces something that is beautiful out of it. Because I think and I understand why people would not want to do, put in decent effort for good employers. I mean, for shit employers. If you have a shit employer, I completely understand and validate why you wouldn't want to put in effort. It's just, I think that where it winds up screwing you later is you're building habits. And do you want to build a habit of doing shit work? So for me, I can't afford to build shit habits when it comes to work because it'll apply to my company. And, that's it. My company is all that's going to be really employing me in the long term. Nobody else is crazy enough to hire me or stupid enough to hire me. So I need to be able to make this work. I can't afford for my work ethic to go downhill as a result of doing shit I don't want to do. All right, so I forget where that rant started from. I own a game console repair shop, and what I start to notice is it's getting less viable for clients to repair rather than buying a new machine. Wondering what's your thoughts on that? I never understood how game console places made money. Can I be honest with you? Let me take a look at this. I don't even know. I haven't done that. I'm so out of touch. Okay, so I search for Xbox, and the first thing that I see is $323 at Walmart. What are you guys doing? How are you paying your rent? So usually you have to fix something for 30% the cost of what it costs to replace to make it worth it. So if you have to do the repair for $100, and a part is $20 or $30, and you have to spend an hour of skilled labor to do it, and then you have to pay rent, and if you have to pay rent, insurance, everything else, you kind of have to charge at least three times what you're paying the employee in order to make all that shit work. That makes sense. I mean, what you're saying, I will validate what you said. Well, my thoughts on that are that this industry is kind of getting inflated away. Everybody wants more money, but the electronics keep going down in price. That is a thing. You're going to have to kind of find something else to work on. Read history. When you read the news and think, oh my God, everybody hates each other. Look at the 1790s. I mean, you have Federalists that were siding with Britain and the Republicans or the anti-Federalists or the Jeffersonians that were siding with France, and these people would be fighting and punching each other in Congress. You would have people that were friends for 30 years that didn't talk for 10 years just because they hated each other. You had insane fights breaking out regularly. It's been way worse many times throughout history than it is now. Way worse. Stop chewing. Gargle my balls. I'm hungry, you fucker. Get out of my chat. Let's see. I am hungry. How dare you try to keep me from eating? How dare you? How many HDMI ports do you need to repair a day to keep up with the overheads, never mind salary? Yeah, it's just that's a tough one. I imagine to do game console repair, you have to be working on things that are like in and out. Like, I know it's the HDMI port. There's no video issue. There is nothing else wrong with this console. It is purely this. I've gotten it to the point where I could take this thing apart in 90 seconds and put it back together in 90 seconds, and then it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, that is a tough one. What is forced arbitration? It's when a company disallows you from being able to take part in a class action lawsuit. So, to be clear, class actions are not about the $3.20 check that you get on your refrigerator when Visa has a freaking data breach or Experian fucks something up. That's not what it's about. What class actions are about is not just a $3 check. It's when this company releases a washing machine that stopped working after, like, 2 months after warranty, and they knew that it was defective, and they didn't tell anybody, and they kept selling it, and they get forced through the class action lawsuit to extend the warranty from 1 year to 10 years and actually enforce it. Like, that's the kind of shit that's for. So in my opinion, companies want the ability to sell garbage and not be held accountable for it. I will not make history videos because there are people that know a million times more than I do about that that will describe it way better. Your channels made me realize how many companies are anti-right to repair. Why is this corruption growing? This wasn't going on in the 90s. I don't know. I have a lot of theories. Like, one of my theories is people just kind of value safety over freedom as a cultural shift. Because when lobbyists say that this is dangerous, or that like repairability will take away your safety or security of your data, when these are the very people that are mining your data to advertise to you all the time to begin with, people believe it. It's weird. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it's like people stop fixing shit anymore. I don't know if it's because we don't have shop class in high school. I don't know if it's because less people work with their hands now. I can't tell you. I don't know if it's because we have so many cheap Chinese goods that repair is not as important as it used to be. Maybe it's partially because we were spoiled by the ability. Like, we actually have an option to buy new. Like, were you buying a new television if your old one broke in the late 1940s or early 1950s? If you got a color TV in 1971 and you were a middle-class family, like, were you buying a new one immediately? Probably not. Socks have forced arbitration. Socks. Put that video out a couple of weeks ago. Fucking socks. 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 Forced arbitration. Insanity. This is not Chipotle. Chipotle's trash. You have a video worth opinion on Apple unmarrying parts. Rewind this one. I'll tell you how much to rewind it by, all right? I'm probably going to eventually make it into its own video, but it's not worth a dedicated one anymore. I just don't care. What you want to do is rewind this video 33 minutes. So yes, so rewind the stream 33 minutes to see that. That's that. Employers use forced arbitration too. I don't use forced arbitration. You're speaking in the Midwest. If I go on vacation and I do a live stream from vacation, otherwise, I have no vacations planned anytime soon. What are you eating? This is a spicy burrito bowl from an exceptional local food truck that I had left over. It's messed up to have 6% of the world's population, yet 25% of its prison population. People keep saying we're too soft on crime. We jail most people per capita the world over. I guess let them out in your neighborhood? I don't know. Every time I hear that, like nonviolent drug offenses, sure. But, I looked into this a long time ago because this is part of the election in 2016. Clinton wanted to shut down the private prison industry, so I looked at it. I was just kind of curious. I looked at CoreCivic, Geo, and all this stuff. When you look at it, like a lot of the people that are actually in there, A, our prisons do not have the space for them, and B, it's not as many people as I thought. The way that used to get advertised, you just kind of think that 99% of them was me selling weed to my postman or something in a nonviolent way, and that was what I thought, and then there was reality. If there's if it's a nonviolent dude selling weed to somebody next door, sure, let him out. For the rest, I vote that I agree when you say that there are too many people in prison, and I believe that we should let them all out on your block. Because I lived in a block for 17 years where I had to deal with all of those people usually before they would go to jail. And I'm not doing that anymore. Fuck that. They can live near you. I lived there so I could live cheaply so that I could buy a house today. It was worth it. What is your opinion on Elon Musk? Ooh, the copy pasta. The copy pasta, my friend. I have the copy pasta. And this happened last stream as well. I give you the copy pasta, bro. Here's the copy pasta. You ready? Regulars are going to get it. I think the reason people sim for Elon Musk so much is because he's kind of like the Biggie from the 90s for autistic nerds in 2023. He does what he wants on his own terms without caring what others think of him. He flips the bird to everyone else, from politicians, the SEC, the media, which capitalizes on the populist anti-establishment sentiment that started gaining traction with Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party movement in 2008 to 2011, and peaked with the election of Trump and Bernie Sanders' rise to popularity. People feel like they're getting screwed and they don't know exactly who's doing the screwing, but they want to lash out. Figures like Elon Musk are lashing out for you and allow you to live vicariously through him. Having billions of dollars, he doesn't really care if he loses a billion here or there, which is much more than the average American can say for themselves. The average American barely has 2 pennies to rub together, so they don't have the ability to give the middle finger to authority, but he does. When you're not capable of doing it yourself, folks like Elon will earn your loyalty and appreciation. I understand that. Elon's brand is that he does what he wants, and he does it with swagger, and never has to face consequences for it, which is unfortunate, because there are many things that he should face consequences for, like the scam of full self-driving. People laugh when he says that electric cars will be able to be viable for cross-country travel, or that vehicles will be able to drive themselves. And while he's a little bit of bullshit, he gets a surprising amount of right. You can indeed take a Model 3 from any point in the United States to another without having to worry about dead spots, even in rural Montana. A surprising amount of a 27-hour road trip was able to be done with autopilot and minimal correction, if necessary. Minimal, if any, correction. Yeah, full self-driving in a lot of words in suburbs and other complex roads is iffy and bullshitty, and he's kind of a scammer for talking about that. But it's far further along than what you would expect to get in a Ford Focus or Toyota 4Runner in 2017. Most people wish they could be like that in their normal lives. Most people commenting on this video have no ability to flip the bird to anybody. They do not live lives of adventure and intrigue. They have no aspirations, hopes, or dreams. They live within the constraints of what most of us live through for the majority of our lives, mediocre reality. Elon Musk allows them to vicariously live through him. And this is the unfortunate part, where people start seeing him as a father figure. People think that he's never wrong. People identify with him and take his identity as their own, so that any time he is criticized for what he rightly should be criticized for, when he does something wrong, they cannot take it. They lack their own identity. They merge it with his. You're looking at this through the lens of why do people show for a billionaire? Why would you invest in or with somebody who exhibits this behavior? But that's the wrong lens to understand it by. That's kind of like asking the question in the 90s of would I let Biggie and his friends house at my fancy suburban HOA home while I'm on vacation and look after my 17-year-old daughter? That isn't the metric on which Biggie's being judged, or Elon. To laugh along with Elon's antics is to give a middle finger to the establishment. It's not about agreeing with him or thinking it's right. It's about hating the people that hate him. A middle finger that so many of my viewers wish they could give to the judgmental sacks of shit they deal with every day in their own lives, whether their own relationships that they don't have the guts to get out of, or their jobs that they can't quit because they don't believe they can do better. Because they're a shift supervisor at Costco with $40,000 in credit card debt, a baby on the way and no education, or a person that makes their $200,000 or $300,000 a year to grind away doing boring work that nobody will care about, the David Graeber bullshit jobs that they live every day. No conflict, no struggle, no narrative, no storyline, no adventure, no purpose, no sticking it to the man. That's the life of those people. Very meaningless, very boring, very trapped due to the financial conditions, family obligations, constraints, and the lack of options this affords them. Their ability to live vicariously through somebody doing all these things is something people identify with greatly. And once you identify with that and start looking up to Elon, you start to think that Elon can't do anything wrong. And that's where we are now, and that's no good. It starts to feel like people are insulting you when they criticize Elon Musk because you are living vicariously through him. You will forgive their flaws. You will defend criticisms against Elon as if they were against yourself. Never doubt people's ability to identify with the populace, who gives them a glimpse of what it's like to express how they really feel to the world, and never doubt society's ability to fuck itself when people lose their identities and sign up for a collective one. That's the copy pasta. That's the copy pasta. I get asked that question so much that I literally have a copy pasta for it. The guy who took away the stocks in cars. Anything to save a buck, that motherfucker. Let's see. There will be some Elon stands in the chat. There always are. There's always somebody. Always somebody. What do you think about the promise of privacy-friendly email services? I don't think anything of them. I think nothing. You're an inspiration. I love your videos. I don't know if I should be an inspiration. Don't know why this wasn't at the top of my feed, because it's mostly a man screaming into a camera at midnight. Putting people in prison makes them less suitable for release later. Technically true. However, leaving them near my house or my business makes living or doing business there less suitable for me now. So it's one of those things that you balance there. I like being able to get a delivery of cat litter to my house and not have the door get broken into and have the window broken so that somebody could take fucking Crasdale litter that costs like $3 out of there. There's only so many times you can deal with that shit before you're like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm convinced Louis actually knows everything and just pretends to not know things because he signed an NDA a decade ago. I don't think so. A phone to use as a daily driver. A piece of shit. There's no winner there. They all suck. Serial killer documentaries. It's been a long time since I saw your video on my feed. YouTube's hiding you well. I've just been making less stuff lately. Also, hello to Mr. Serial Killer Documentaries. It's a pleasure to see you here, sir. I've actually been enjoying some of the content on your channel recently. I will be providing a donation shortly. Do you think consumers overcome their urge to screw themselves over by accepting corporate abuse? I think that back in the day, I think you used to be able to vote with your wallet. Now the only way to vote with your wallet is to become a Luddite. I think the only way to vote for like again, if you want to buy a phone that has a headphone jack, an unlockable bootloader, the ability to run an operating system like Graphene or Calyx or something, that's not going to tell you like you're no longer legally allowed to sell the phone after you do it. Like it's very difficult to find something that is not abusive unless you're willing to live in the past. And maybe that's, I don't think people are going to do that. Yeah, I think that a lot of people are going to tolerate it, and a very small number of people are going to have their 1979 vehicle that they just keep repairing, their 15-year-old computer,
Good.
their flip
The
phone.
right file.
You do great work. Little something towards right to repair fund and say thank you. Okay, in the interest of honesty and transparency here, I do have a nonprofit for that that is funded enough to do what I want. This money goes straight to cat food and lint and lint picker-uppers and cleaners for Blackberry the cat. But thank you very much for the 5 New Zealand dollars. Really enjoying the focus of recent videos. If every company is seeing others do forced arbitration and following suit. I would like nothing more than to stop making those videos. I would like nothing more than to just wake up and have nothing to talk about.
Good. I do have the right file.
Fan of your work, stay strong. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be one of those guys who continues to repair his 2006 Honda Accord. I don't blame you, David Chang. And thank you. Sony question mark. That is a word, not a question. A word. Without context, a word by itself cannot be a question. Needs more. I don't have a link to the copy pasta. It's just on my little note server, which is not public. I don't open ports on anything in my house. Let's see. Louis, that copy bust would be a good 100 donation sound bit. I should do a good job of reading it and make that. Yes, every donation that will be read. Yes. Why a sheep for the OG Rossmann repair logo? A sheep is honest and a sheep is humble. A sheep is humble. A sheep is not going to do what the Apple Store does and tell you it's $1,200 when you have a bent pin and a cable. A sheep is humble. The sheep is not going to tell you you need to replace the entire display assembly when all you need is an LCD. The sheep is humble. The sheep is not drive savers. You know what? Yeah, the fucking sheep is not drive savers. The sheep is not going to quote you $2,700 when your iPhone only has a bad charge port. The sheep is honest, and the sheep is humble. The sheep doesn't screw you. My business is the sheep, the humble sheep that does not screw you. Does Repair Shopper have a tip option on POS? I don't think mine does. You know what the funny thing is? We got a new credit card machine, and the fucking thing does that. I have to turn that shit off. I am legit going to turn off tipping at my company. I don't want that shit. It's annoying. Everybody everywhere is asking for a tip. The guy that fixed my air conditioner did that too. $3,800 to install a new air handler. And here's the thing, like I know an air handler is like $1,100, right? Because it was a Goodman. It's not like, you know, it wasn't a Carrier, it wasn't a Gree, it's a freaking Goodman. It's not a Friedrich. I know that part probably retail is $1,200. I will pay you $2,600 to put that in, because if anything goes wrong, you got 5 stars, 500 plus reviews. I know if anything goes wrong, and something did go wrong, you're going to come back here and fix everything and make sure it works perfectly. And I've also dealt with shitty contractors before. Ironically, the shitty contractor actually cost more than the one that would have been good, but I will do that. However, this system, the options were like 25, 35, or 40% for tip or something, and I'm just looking at this and I'm like, this is asking me by default, because it wouldn't click no. Like when I was paying on his system, he said he claimed I was the new customer, the first customer for this new system. It's defaulting to a 25% tip on a $3,800 bill to install a $1,200 part that you installed in less than an hour and a half. Like, I'm sorry, do you want to fuck my wife while you're here too? Like I looked at the guy like, this is defaulting to a 25% tip. He just looks down and looks back up, and I'm like, do you want to fuck my wife too? Like, and he was very, very confused by that comment. I think I'm the only person that has ever looked him in the eye and said that. Like, I am happy to give you $2,600 for an hour and a half of your time. Happy. You do skilled labor. If I try to do that, my house is either going to be frozen or on fire, like one or the other. You want a 25% tip on a $3,800 job?
Good, I do have the right file.
No. Like, my store charges like $400 to $2,000 for data recovery. Like, what, you're supposed to, like, I'm not, like, asking people for a tip on top of the $2,000 job is just, it's insulting. Like, it's just, ew. Get out of here. Like, you charge enough. Ah, son of a bitch. This bottle was crushed at the top, so, oh man, I just messed myself up. That's only water. I'm not searching for the answer, but the voice in the background saying something about a file is from the final boss. It's hilarious if you're using that as a notification. Yes, I am, and I just spilled water on myself. Oh well, I'm a schmuck. I am a schmuck. I got owned. Thank you. Also, thank you very much, Kristen. Thank you for standing up to corporate greed and doing the right thing. I work in finance. You've inspired me to devote my life to stopping criminals that call themselves advisors. That's very cool. Thank you. As a person who still lives in New York, do you think New York is dying? Will there be a light at the end of the tunnel? Do you think it'll be a red state? No, I don't know. There's a lot of people linking me to these videos by this guy like Cash Jordan, and it's just like, I don't know how to put this. I did videos on my actual experience as a business owner as I was being screwed about my specific situations. Like, very much so, mostly about my situations and my aggravations. They weren't like I got like 30 people like emailing me that guy's links, and like I'll click it, I'll just scroll through the channel, and I'll watch a minute or two, and it just, like, this is the McDonald's of, like, don't get me wrong, like that channel, when I look at that make absolute minimum is like 40 to 60K a month. Got you know, that guy's got is gonna have his finances in order better than me. But I just don't get anything out of watching like the, how do I put this? The factory farm content that most people are doing right now on it. Yeah, like when I get a lien placed on my company for taxes I paid 12 years ago, and then a warrant that you mailed to another state, and then I call for an hour and you can't figure it out. Yeah. When, like, you know, you try to take $1.2 million from me in an audit and I wind up owing like 500 or 5K and not 1.2 million. Yeah. When I get fined like hundreds, to potentially up to $15,000 for a law that you can't tell me how to obey on the phone. And then I'd spend 4 hours on the phone on a bullshit court with a woman that is petting her cat that doesn't have a fucking clue how to process it. I'll share that. But, like, that's not factory farmed, you know? Like, that's organic. That's organic. Here's the thing. I'll put it this way. The difference between my playlist on my channel and something like Cash Jordan, like, that's the Tropicana, you know? Like, it's Tropicana. It's Burger King. This is like when you go to Hollis, New Hampshire, and you go to the farmer's market, and you get the orange juice that they squeezed from the oranges that they had in the backyard. Like the true original of New York, like, screwing you. I don't know. You know, is New York dying? Like, no. There's 8.4 million people there, 8.3. Like, there's if you live in a city that has 50,000 people, I don't even think people understand the scope of it. Don't get me wrong. I despise that city with every fiber of my being. But is it dying? I mean, like, there is an insane amount of money there. There's like 8.3 million people. Even if you say 200,000 people, like literally 4 times the population of your city could leave. And it still has 160 times as many people as your city. It really did take me that long to do the math in my head. I dislike the city. Don't get it twisted. I have real, honest, legitimate grievances with that city. Like, very, very legitimate, based in fact, stack of paperwork, list of reasons. The culture of real estate lying, the culture of people being anxious and agitated and on edge in general, the culture of, like, like a box gets left outside my building because if it gets stolen, if it's left inside my building, they break the window on the door to get it. But don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be here. But, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of meh. Just want to express my gratitude for inspiring me to engage more actively with digital rights issues. Thank you. I guess, like, I don't have a formulation for when I do a video on New York. I don't have like a, yeah, there's no formula, you know? Like, it comes from the heart. But I just don't really care about it as much anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I still get hate mail every now and then, but it's not as bad as the old hate mail. Like, do we have a lien and a warrant placed on your business for taxes that you did not, that you, like, we say you did not pay, that you have proof that you fucking paid in 2012? Yeah, like, you know, it annoys me, but, like, I'm not gonna search the news tab in Google and, like, literally every time NYC pops up, just do a video on it. I did mention certain things that aggravated me. Like, as a business owner, what was the guy's name? The guy that had the bodega, I forget the guy's name. It's in the tip of my tongue. Thank you, Louis, for standing up against corporate greed. Love from Thailand. You're the reason why I care about my own privacy. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you for the 100 subs. What was the guy's name? Again, like, as a business owner. And also, again, I didn't live in this area. I mean, I didn't work in this area. I didn't have a business there. But as somebody who lived in a neighborhood, every time I would go down to the bodega, because I got home late, it would be like 11:30 at night, sometimes, you know, close to midnight or a little after. Every fucking time, there would be somebody at the bodega, like 100% of the time, that was cursing out the person at the front desk, front counter, saying how he's going to fuck him up, this, all that, and the other, because, like, I could swear that this thing of milk was like 3 cents less last week. And just like, I don't live there anymore. It's like, I'm happy. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm happy. I'm happy where I am, but, like, I kind of moved on. Like, you know, they stopped sending me hate mail. I'm good. Yeah, but, like, you know, when I read that, I'm just kind of thinking, what would it be like? Yeah, what would it be like? I'm trying to find that video. What would it be like to be that dude at that bodega, getting my life threatened every day over 3 cents, for like 5 years? I've worked the MTA. I've seen a lot. Thank you, NYC Batista. Like, as a business owner, and simultaneously, as somebody who also lived in a neighborhood where every night at midnight I go downstairs to buy my shit or whatever. I'm the type of guy that never really buys enough groceries and never really prepared, so I wind up going to the, you know, downstairs at like midnight, realizing I'm out of food, so let me buy some yogurt or a milk or bananas or some shit. I don't know, in the bodega. What would it be like to be in that situation? Yeah, what was the guy? Okay, bodega owner was acquitted of all charges. I forget his name. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Shut up, you fucking asshole. Who the fuck wants to hear your voice? Let's see. Jose Alba, that was his name. Yeah, you know, like, as a business owner, I will cover that because I also lived in the neighborhood where people would do shit like this and you had to worry about it, and I would walk into places where I had to deal with that shit every single day because I was cheap and I didn't want to live in a fancy neighborhood because I wanted the ability to, like, buy a house someday. But yeah, like, I don't know. I like the whole is New York dying. I mean, New York's isn't New York supposed to have died like 3 or 5 times already? New York doesn't die because I decided it died. It doesn't die because my business left. It dies when 8.4 million people decide to walk and leave. I don't know what the first word is a real thing. This is why we have to switch tech constantly, since big companies make them unusable. Oh, you're saying planned obsolescence. Obsolescence. I thought that was like saying obesity or something. Greetings from Montreal. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. I don't know about how much of it is planned obsolescence versus we just don't care about repairability, and when people complain about it, we're just going to pretend it's not a problem. Yeah, when it comes to New York, like, New York City doesn't die because I say it died. New York City didn't die because my business left. I don't have that type of ego. My opinion is not important enough to say that that city is dead. Like, you know, there's 8.5 million people about that choose to live there. Show me another city in the U.S. that has 8.5 million people. Show me a city in the U.S. that has 4 million people. You can't. You can't. Even ones that are way bigger. Like, a bunch of people choose to live there. You know, you got to deal with that. My opinion is different from the opinions of a lot of other people, and my experience is different from the experience of a lot of other people. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my experience should be everybody's experience. There are a lot of people that live in New York City by choice because it actually suits them. They want that lifestyle. They want to live someplace that is walkable. They want to live someplace where they have every single type of store, every single type of shop. Okay, admittedly, that's starting to change with the whole, like, that is starting to change with the whole retail space for lease shit.
Honestly, that's kind of why I don't really miss it as much anymore. Once all the restaurants I liked and all the little stores and shops I liked kind of started to close, it just kind of lost the character that made it worth spending money out the ass to live there. Now it's really just kind of like a. It honestly, like New York City really just, like, it feels like an HOA for rich kids that made money elsewhere. How's Austin treating you? All right so far. I actually got one of those school bus tickets where they have a camera. Literally, the bus, not only had it not finished stopping yet, it hadn't finished stopping yet. The lights in the back weren't even blinking. So I showed up with my dash cam footage. I had my dash cam footage. I was very polite, very kind, very courteous, and I got to the room. It was a fine. I got to the room. Within 40 seconds of being let in, they said, "Come over here, sir, I'm ready for you." I showed it, and they said I would have to send in this piece of paper to get my money back. And then later the next day, the money was immediately returned to me without me sending the paper in. I don't know, I like it. I like not getting treated like shit. I don't know what to tell you. Don't get me wrong. Would I prefer that the school bus with the stop sign actually take the picture after the thing has fucking stopped? Yes. Yes, I would. Would I prefer that the lights be blinking on the back, that it stop, that it has a sign out or anything? Yes. Is that system broken? Obviously. And clearly it is, because when I looked it up online, over 70% of the people are winning disputes because everybody that shows up is essentially winning because of the whatever broken tech they're using for it. But they actually take accountability and responsibility. And it's not waiting on the phone for 4 hours. It's not an office that doesn't exist. It's not like we're sending you this thing that says that you pay, your business is going to be shut down unless you get a license, but I can't get a new license because I already used the code last year when I paid for the license that you're telling me I didn't pay for this year. It's just I don't have to deal with that stuff. I think there's this misunderstanding when it comes to businesses and taxes. I'll get this a lot in my comments, and this is how you know that a lot of the people that talk on Reddit are just fundamentally business illiterate. When I say business illiterate, I don't even mean business illiterate. I just mean mathematically illiterate. If you're Hewlett Packard, if you're HP, if you're General Motors, when you move from a state with even a 0.5% reduction in your taxes means a bunch more people have millions and millions and tens of millions more dollars to play with, right? If you're a small business, let's say that your profit, after you pay everybody their salaries, let's say your profit is, I don't know, $10,000, $50,000, $80,000, 1 or 2% here or there on your taxes is really not what makes people move. It's just not. If I'm going to take all of my stuff, put it in a truck, have employees that I've had for 5 to 7 years, that I've taught a skill to, that I've cultivated, have a relationship with, and I'm just going to let them go and then hire random who the fuck evers in this new place. Wonder if I'm going to get a customer base in that new place. Also, I could save 1 or 2% on my taxes. It's just not it's just not how people make decisions. The corporate tax rate isn't that much different. I guess the personal income tax rate is the personal income tax rate, when you combine New York City plus New York State, I think it's 9 or 10. New York City is 2.5 or 3.5. New York State is 5.5 or 6.5, somewhere around there. Let's just round it make it nice and even and say 10%. It's one of these things where no small business owner is going to say, you know what, I have a really good thing going. I'm making some decent money here. I'm going to potentially literally throw everything away. I'm going to lose my entire customer base to move somewhere else and just randomly start from scratch. So that's why when I see people saying things like, yeah, I must have moved there because he doesn't like paying taxes. He doesn't want to support his community or anything like that. It's I don't know, do you have a functioning brain? Your brain your brain must be as smooth as Blackberry's fur. It's just, I don't understand it. Yeah, don't get me, again, HP, Tesla, General Motors, when companies of that size move to a different state, it's easy to make the argument that taxes were a big part of it. And they also, when Tesla, if HP moves their headquarters to a different state, is that going to change the likelihood of you buying an HP printer? Not really. But when it comes to small business, a lot of small business is local. I have a lot of mail-in, but I also have a lot of local. It's not one. It's not really one of the reasons on top of the list. When small businesses go from one area to another one, it's usually something deeper. For me, it wasn't a tax dollar amount. It was I do not know when I am going to get in trouble. I don't know when you're going to tell me that I owe you money that I don't owe. I don't know when you're going to ask for $1.2 million that I don't have. And like, I don't want to lose any more of my hair. I mean, like, my business's income went down when I came to Texas, which I was expecting. Like, I had 15 years of building up a walk-in clientele in New York City. I have had less than a year and a half here. It takes time to build that up. I have, the mail-in is going to be the same, but like walk-in is dismal because A, it takes time to build it up. B, 8.5 million people in New York, like 800,000 people here. It's 10% of the people. But that's not really what it's about. It's not about the tax dollars. It's about not like losing more of my hair over heart attacks over stuff like that anymore. Monty funded $2. Thank you. Can you get me a job in Texas? I cannot. I cannot. I've never been to Texas before. If I visit Austin, what's the best authentic Mexican food place to try? I can't tell you because I swear to Christ, I think it has to be a money laundering place. The food that they make is amazing. Every time I've gone there, whether it is, like 9 a.m., 11 p.m., middle of the day, holiday, random weekday, Friday night, there's nobody there. So I'm fairly certain it's a money laundering place. And I don't want it to get shut down, and I don't want it to get overwhelmed with people, because then I'll have to wait online, and they will not have space for me, because it is very, very small. So I am not going to tell you, because I'm saving it for me. I'm selfish like that. I will tell you to go to SP Steakhouse if you want an alternative to Fogo de Chao, because I know that SP Steakhouse has enough space, enough waiters, enough chef staff to actually accommodate you. This chair is comfy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Good, I do have the right file.
I can tell your mods are moderating speech. That's their job. There's a lot of stupid chat. I can't watch all of it. There's too much stuff to read anyway, so I don't really put much mind to it. It's impossible to read everything, and actually, so. The taxes in New York City is starting to impose. Show it's dying. But, like, what are they? Be specific here. I set up an OPN sense route because you mentioned a PF sense. Is there anything like PF blocker NG for OPN sense? I'm very curious. I wanted to send screenshots but couldn't find your email. Louis@rossmanngroup.com. If you spell my name, I'll get the email. If you don't spell my name right, I won't get the email. What is your favorite movie? You used to live in New Braunfels, Texas. Missed the blue bonnets blooming right about this time. Yeah, they are pretty. I like the movie 25th Hour with Ed Norton. I like Ed Norton a lot. I would say 25th Hour. That's a good one. Tips for overcoming laziness and burnout for a long-term solo programming project. Want to spend every possible hour on it until it's done, but I'm spending all my time on other stuff to de-stress. Figure out why you're avoiding it. Let's see. You know what I would do? I will link you to a video that I did 5 years ago on this, back when I had much more hair, much better skin, because I hadn't burned it all off yet in the sunburn in 2017. And I will link you to this, all right? You ready? I think that I did a video for this that was pretty good. I will put it in the chat right here. This is for KTOL. Bada boom. Here you are. You miss any spots in New York? Oh, Naya. 30th Street and 7th Avenue. Oh, they had such good food. Like, the only thing that matches that is SP Steakhouse. But Naya was $10 and SP Steakhouse is like $75 a person. Let's see. Somebody said there's a why I'm leaving New York City somebody made. Interesting. I just left a comment on his video. At least they didn't send your warrant to a P.O. box in Berwick, Maine. Just a little salty. Just a little salty. Can I say that I'm just a little salty? Yeah. Oh, man. Why I'm leaving New York City by... I can't say that out. I don't know how to pronounce that. I haven't even watched the video yet. I left a comment. I know that's what most people do to me. At least they did send your word to a P.O. box in Berwick, Maine. That's all I have to say. Something tells me... I haven't even watched the video yet. Something tells me he had it better than me. I'm just going to throw that out there. You should put up a fake brick wall behind you for nostalgia purposes. Maybe. Please make a multiple hour-long video or documentary. I watch you to fall asleep every night. I love your content. Thank you. I don't know what I would do a documentary on. Why don't you get a better recliner? What the fuck do you mean a better recliner? This is fine. What's wrong with my fucking recliner, huh? Oh. What the hell do you think is wrong with my recliner? Ah, okay, yeah, Shawshank Redemption 2, Cobrax. I like Shawshank Redemption. Dominic, stop stalking people. Just stop stalking people, please, Dominic. Let's see. Have you or your cats ever had an ice-cold hairball to step in when it's dark? No? What do you think of Framework, the laptop company? I think that they are doing their best to serve their customers well. They're doing their best to try and catch up with other companies that have way more money than they do. And above all, I think that they have excellent discretion when it comes to not hiring madmen and idiots. I trust their hiring practices. I will leave it at that. I trust Framework's hiring practices. I'm not including you in this, but so many people are moving to Texas because the place to live in sucks, but they make it suck, so they're just moving their mindset right back over there. No, not really. People are not like a monolith like that. That's kind of like, again, that's like I think everybody kind of needs to put shit as a bumper sticker. No, not really. Like, you know, let's say I moved to New Ipswich, New Hampshire, right? Let's say I moved to a town of like 2,000 or 3,000 people. Maybe I have some different views from some of the people in the town, but I also bring a lot of the shit to the town that may not actually exist in the town right now. Maybe I don't actually believe everything that my New York City counterparts believe exactly. I may not believe in everything that my new neighbors believe exactly. It's just kind of assumed. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with being terminally online. The biggest problem with being terminally online is you assume that everybody thinks the same. You assume that everybody is the same. And like it's very just easy to listen to the same shit all day and just become massively, insanely radicalized to things that are stupid. But it's like, I argue this at work all the time. You know, they said, like in Texas, that you should have parking requirements for certain things in certain areas. I think this is insane. I think when you try to create a city, like again, I am kind of not just bikes pilled there. If you know, when you try to create a city and you try to make it drivable with high population density, you end up with Houston, which is a giant clusterfuck. And I'll argue these things, and you know they'll look and they'll say like, "Oh, New York, are you going to turn it into that?" It's like, no, not really. You know, I like my district attorney and my judge to actually give a fuck about crime. I would like them to actually put like that other guy that's like going off and saying we have too many people in prison. Like, yeah, let them all out in your neighborhood. That's fine by me. I would prefer that people that rob, that steal, that hurt, that beat, that stab, that shoot, be put away. Like, you know, there are some areas where I agree and some where I don't. And I think it's one of those things where people assume that everybody's the same. The other problem that I think is when they say like people are moving from their area that doesn't work and moving here and they're going to quote ruin my area. What a lot of people don't realize, like, don't get me wrong, I shit on a lot of stuff with New York. Like, my God, there's so much shit about New York. But at the same time, make one on cars. I can't do a documentary on cars. Go to Rich Rebuilds. But even Rich is more of a comedian than a documentary guy, though. But anyway, like, I went through so many towns in the U.S. where, like, the entire, you know, again, like, I gotta, you know, when you get a car and you want to drive around the country and kind of spend some time on a road trip, there are so many towns in America where their economy is like Dollar Tree and Dollar General and Waffle House. Like, I'll take New York City over that. I mean, you're not supposed to say that. Like, you're supposed to either be like hyper conservative or like, New York City is a utopia and never say anything bad about it, or you're an ist of something. It's like,
Good, I do have the right file.
would you ever move back? Nope. I haven't even visited. The last time I went to New York was when everything got, sometime in 2022. I stopped living there at the end of 2021. I went back a few times to look at my store in 2022. My apartment was not actually in my name because of a credit issue. I rented that place back before I had a credit score that was higher than a Tennessee area code. But yeah, like I never went back, and I don't think I will. Like I'm just, I've genuinely moved on. Here's the thing, like there are states that have, kind of like crap with the government. Here's the thing. At the very least, at least California's pretty. Like there are, again, to be clear, I understand why people have disdain for government in California or anything else or running a business there. But you drive through Laguna Beach, it's kind of pretty. And you drive south and you have all of the mountains and it's actually clear. Because, I like Texas, but it's a little foggy, It's not like Vancouver. You go to Vancouver and you like, it literally looks like the mist has disappeared. Oh, thank you. It literally look like when you go to Vancouver versus, like the hill country in Texas. It's almost like the leafage tree disappeared in Final Fantasy IX. It's like the mist is gone. It's like all the mist is gone. We're not taking the souls from Gaia and sending them to Terra anymore. It's not, but like it's nice, Like at least, like you're getting destroyed in taxes. You may be getting destroyed by government, but it looks nice. At the very least, it's like the hot, it's like the quarterback of the football team that treats the cheerleaders like assholes, or it's like the cheerleader in high school that treats the nerds like assholes. Like at least you're getting something in exchange for the bad treatment. And New York City, like it looks like shit. It looks horrible. Like you go in the subway every day and it's so fucking depressing. You do so many videos on them in your data. I need more you. Huh? Oh, you mean cars in your data and taking your data. I mean, I can't do a documentary on it. I don't know enough to do a documentary. I don't have enough stuff to do a documentary. I've never done a documentary. I think that format would be horrible for me. Anyway, but back to the point. And thank you, by the way. The point was, I forgot. Shit. No, like there's yeah, like at least in California, like it's actually nice. Like it really does look nice. Like you go to Coney Island and go to the beach and like you're just gonna get a bunch of glass in your foot. It's just it's not this. It's nasty. It's nasty. Like a lot of people, like they have this idea about New York City because they see Water Street. Like if you go to Battery Park and you walk through Water Street and you look at these like really nice buildings in the financial district, if you get off the Staten Island Ferry, you'll think, wow, look at New York City. And then it's like, like go to 30th Street and 8th Avenue. Spend a little time at, I don't know, spend some time in Bed-Stuy. Like, I don't know, just like see the rest of it. It's not fucking Laguna Beach. It costs Laguna Beach prices, but it looks like shit. I don't know. If you're going to live someplace if you're going to deal with all that shit, at the very least, it should be someplace nice. I guess that's my point. It's about time for me to get out of here. I had my rant on that gel a few minutes ago. Outseeker, it's factory farmed content in my opinion. I did my rant on that earlier. So, yeah. I hate video game DRM so much. Me too. Okay, it's time for me to get out of here. It's been a fun day. It's been a fun random stream. I will see you all later. I'll see you when it's time for the next video, whenever that is.
Good, I do have
Whenever.
the right file.
Do you want a microtransactions come into cars? The new Dodge EV will have them. No way. Email me, lewis@rossmanngroup.com. The performance upgrade behind paywall, I just don't really care about anymore. I don't know. I'm not as... I don't know. I do videos and stuff when I'm excited to. I can't do videos and stuff that I don't care about. Heated seats pisses me off more than the performance upgrade. Probably because I honestly don't even believe that car, when you pay for the performance upgrade, will last longer as a result of it. Because I don't believe that they put... with Tesla, I don't believe that they put hardware in the car that is capable of more but give you less. I think they put hardware in the car that is capable of exactly what you got, and then if you pay more, you can fuck up your car more and destroy it sooner. Something tells me that... If I had a guess... If I had to make a wild guess when it came to Tesla build quality, I would imagine that that's what's going on there. Yes, anyway, I will do the next video when I have the muse to do the next video. I don't know when I will have a muse for the next video. Whenever it comes. Whenever it comes. There was a decent rant somewhere in the beginning. There was a decent rant about the Apple program. I literally didn't even read about that program. I'm just going to be real. Everybody keeps asking me to do it. Like, I haven't even read the whole thing. And I want to be clear and upfront with you that I have not read the details of the program. I literally don't have it in me to cover the same piece of news and how, like, we've gone one step forward after going 30 steps back anymore. It's just too depressing. It's just like, I literally don't even have it in me to read that stuff anymore to do the video. Like, it's been 12 years of that. It's been 12 years. 12 years. Anyway, see you later. Have a good night, by the way. Enjoy your evening.